integrity.
DJ CaliRoyce.
Yes, it's me.
What's going on, sis? How you doing? Come on, what's going on, sis?
Down. I'm excited.
You doing good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
You in town? I'm doing good, sis.
I'm in the city.
Come on now, let's talk to him. Let's talk to him, sis.
Man.
You living or you surviving?
I would say I'm living.
Explain.
So, for me, when I say I'm living, I feel like living life through a lot of different experiences, channeling different energies, and being able to learn from the experiences that you have survived through.
Wow.
I feel like that gets you to the point of living.
Absolutely.
Surviving it, that you done went down through them
Go
trenches,
ahead.
you know, you done got through some experiences
That's right.
and grew through levels, you know, you done been ups, downs,
That's right.
roundarounds. It's going to be that for the rest of your life, but I feel like you get to the living point when you realize that these are just moments in
love
time.
that. I love that.
So I definitely would say living.
I love that, sis. That's what's up. That's what's up. Welcome to the Integrity Response with your brother, CEO Khacki. Every individual sitting across from me doesn't believe in being typical, ordinary, or familiar. They're elite, meaning society's norms don't sit well with them. They believe in raising the bar for themselves, family, and for those they may never meet. From those in humble beginnings to those in the midst of greatness and legends who've paved the way. With a comedic edge, I will ask the questions that hold value, and I believe we'll gain insight to the real them. It's the Integrity Response. Before we get into today's interview, I want to shout out our sponsor, Grand Moscato Wines, the official wine of the Integrity Response podcast. Look, it's 16, but we created a link, $3 off, right? If you want to purchase your own wine, $3 off your entire order. Use code The Integrity Response. We appreciate you. Back to the interview. Let's take them back.
Okay.
Before DJing, managing, marketing for artists, at the age of 9, what did you want to be?
Oh, don't tell nobody this since everybody listening.
Gotcha.
But I definitely wanted to be a synchronized swimmer. I don't know if you know what that is.
Come
you know
on,
what that is?
Yeah, of course. You don't hear that? I've never heard.
I wanted to be a professional synchronized swimmer. I love to swim. Like that's I love swimming. When I moved to Texas, I gave that up though. It's too hot.
Gotcha.
The water be burning sometimes. It's too much.
Do they, in Houston, they have a lot of indoor pools though, or?
They do not. I actually, I won a lot of trophies when I was younger swimming. And the thing is moving over to Texas, it was just absolutely too hot to do it. And the water temperature was so warm, it changed how I held my breath, how I'm over here synchronized.
That's right.
And it's not big in Texas either. It was bigger in California. So I just was like, I'm gonna give that up. Find something else to do.
That's what's up. That's dope though. That's dope. Let's take it back. So Carson, California.
Yes.
This is right outside of the Compton area. Gotcha. Okay, so come on now. That's what's up. So you grew up there. Any siblings?
I have a little sister.
Okay.
And I have a stepbrother.
Gotcha. That's what's up. Do y'all grow up in the same household?
No, just me and my sister did.
Okay, gotcha. That's what. And how much older or younger is she? She's younger.
We're 8 years apart.
Gotcha. So you the big sister.
I'm the big sister.
Oh, you're the big sister. That's right.
I'm
sure.
the big one.
That's what's up. All right. That's dope. That's dope, sis. So growing up, you swam. What type of kid were you outside? So you are active.
Now, when you say active, you mean like, runner and stuff like that? I was a little chubby.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was a little chubby, so I would say
like
I was
me?
a little.
Just like me.
Well, I don't know why they had us be chubby, because I didn't eat bad as a kid. I don't know how that situation happened.
Gotcha.
Maybe it ain't even genetics. My family
I was about to say it's
nice,
not even right.
They nice sizes, so I didn't understand that. But yeah, I was active. I did basketball. I did swimming.
Gotcha.
What else sports wise? Them was the only sports I did.
Okay, that's what's up. You remember what position you played basketball?
I was terrible at it, so I can't even remember. I was trying to run and keep up with everybody, but I was big back at the time.
I understand that.
Don't take me back there.
That's right.
Trickery.
Right. And that concludes today's episode. That's real. So let's talk. Let's see. Your dad was into television entertainment as well. He was a voiceover artist.
Yeah. So my dad did a lot of commercials for television and radio.
Gotcha.
So there's a company called Mickey's Soul Food Cafe in Houston.
Nice,
It's
nice.
actually one of the biggest soul food restaurants.
Wow.
He's the voice of a lot of their stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. That's what's up.
He in California, he did a lot of voiceovers for KJLH, just a lot of radio stations.
Right,
he
right.
just was like the voice. So like, here in the city, you may turn on the radio
Absolutely.
and you hear that same voice all the time.
That's right.
That's kind of what he did in LA. So yeah.
Wow. So you actually, because the face wasn't recognized, but the voice, people knew your dad's voice. Like, man, no, I knew this. That's crazy.
And then he's a ladies' man, so when they see him, they be like, "That's your
That's your
voice."
voice.
Oh, hey, yes,
That's what's up. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So growing up, you have that background as well. So entertainment, and not only that, but pretty sure your dad was very social. Had his
Social
network was
butterfly.
Wow.
So basically my dad, when I was growing up, he went to school for radio and television broadcasting.
Gotcha.
And so that's kind of how he got really deep in depth with the voiceovers. And then from there, he started to work with mental health.
Okay.
So he wrote,
Gotcha.
and then officially, like for sure, high school, all of my high school,
That's
I was
dope.
in
That's
Texas.
dope. For sure. Take your fans with you. In high school, fill in the blank. In high school, I was known as a kid that
Everybody knew.
That's real. So you were popular. That's real.
Very
so you're popular. That's real.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was loud and obnoxious.
Gotcha. So let's take them into this craft. Okay. So before we get there, after high school, plans for college, entrepreneurship. What was the goal?
So originally my goal was to go to school and I wanted to do nursing. Like this,
Gotcha.
like literally my years of figuring it out was 16 to maybe 25.
Gotcha.
That was my figure it
That's
out
right.
years. So I wound up going to college, but I only went for like a year and some change because I wound up getting pregnant with my son. I have a
Okay.
14-year-old.
Gotcha.
So I got pregnant, but I graduated high school early. So I had my son at 19, stopped going to college, and I started focusing more. I had to find quick money.
That's right. I understand. That's
in order
right.
to get quick money, I had to go back home.
That's right.
Figure it all out. So I've had, and this is the only interview I've ever said
Go ahead,
this.
go ahead.
But I've had 37 jobs.
Stop.
37, and to be honest, probably plus 37 jobs. The only reason is because I get bored easy. I don't like people telling me what to do.
Go ahead, you say
So I
something.
started my own business. I don't like people telling me what to do. It bothers me. It really
I
does.
know it. You were fighting every job. You were not every job. Not them. You were fighting with yourself. Like
I
no,
was. I
no.
don't have to do this. You
Come
know
on.
I can do what I want to do. Excuse me.
I love that.
Like, and the thing is like, I've always been like one of those people that's independent. I know how to make money. Like literally, if I wake up in the morning and I say, I want to make $300, I know how to
And
figure
do
it
it.
out and
Wow.
go get it. I'm going to go get it done. But that was me being a young hustler doing like the swap meet stuff,
I was
learning
just
how to
about to say
sell.
that.
Like
There you
that's
go.
where it
There you
came
go.
from.
Early
So
on.
got it out the mud. But having 37 jobs, I feel like I have mastered every level. Once I master a job, it gets boring to me. So I was just like, okay, I'm quit. I don't want to be here anymore.
Real.
Yeah, it was too much. But just to get back to the point.
No, because in a sense, you like, no, I'm not, I'm not here for a long time. I'm not here to build a career with you all. It's a stepping stone.
And even at first, sometimes it may look appealing. It may be like for example, I've worked at the Gap. I could name a mass majority of them. I worked at the Gap in the Galleria. I've worked at so many places.
Right,
I
right.
worked at McDonald's when I was in college. I worked at clothing stores. Like
Gotcha.
I've been a manager. I've
Right.
been a supervisor.
Right, same here, that's right.
Like big department stores, Ross.
Right.
Like again, I've done it all. Assistant manager work. I've done training, like recruiting.
Gotcha.
And I've done temp agency work.
Right.
And it's a lot of jobs
just go-
out there.
There you go.
But
There you
that's
go.
what made me learn what I love. I
That's
couldn't
right.
really place myself in a box until I found like what felt good.
I love that.
And a lot of people are scared. They're like, it's two ways that I noticed that they're doing with our young culture. One way is gonna be, you got to get a job. You got to have stability. You got to get 9 to 5. And then the other one is don't work for the man. You got to work for yourself. Don't get nothing. You are nobody unless you got your own company.
Go ahead.
And I'm just like, if everybody's a boss, who gonna work?
Who's going to work?
if you
Who's
make
gonna follow?
everybody,
Who's gonna lead?
you know,
Absolutely.
our culture does that to us. They will beat you down. You don't got no LLC. You don't got
Go
this.
ahead.
If you don't got this, you
It's
ain't
something.
nobody.
You
You don't got
saying something.
nothing. It's more so teach us how to have ownership. That's
right.
what I feel like we should
Absolutely.
have.
Absolutely.
Focus on ownership. I
That's
think
right.
that right there would get us to the next level as a culture.
Absolutely will.
Yeah. So that's
that.
pretty much how I got into phasing and figuring out what I really wanted to do.
And that's like because even multimedia, even what you are now, you don't hold yourself to a DJ.
No.
You are no, you know what I'm saying?
I'm very well versed.
Absolutely, and that shows like in a sense of like, no, don't put me in a box. I hate being in a box.
I hate it.
You hate being
I
comfortable.
definitely do.
You're pretty hard on yourself, aren't you?
Super.
Which
Super critical.
Okay, I always ask this question:
Man.
Is that a good or bad thing?
I feel like in my aspect is good and bad because I've learned so much about myself. Like some people, they don't self-evaluate.
Right.
Like I'll look at situations where maybe I had a disagreement with somebody and I'm like, dang, how did I handle that? Could I
Gotcha.
handle that better? Could they have, or was I tripping? And then, always just reinventing and keeping consistent. And I feel like when you're hard on yourself, it's because you want to be your best version of yourself.
I love it.
So I don't want to say that that's bad,
Right.
you know, because if you say that evaluating yourself and reinventing and continuing the growth process is wrong, then my question is what's right?
Go ahead.
If you
Go ahead.
don't grow, what we doing?
What we doing?
So, yeah.
What currently drives you in 2024?
Man, so my son has been one of my driving forces.
I love it.
And it's really been since he was born. He's been like the main reason why I go. He just actually got into high school.
Come on, that's what's
and I really would like to share this because a lot of moms out there, like, they depend on their kids, like emotional support, like they all in and they pour their lives into their children. Well, recently my son decided to go to a school that's really far. Like the school is like an hour away from where I live.
Gotcha.
And so being that his dad lives over there, me and him kind of share responsibilities for him. Well, I didn't realize this, but I built my whole career around my child. So
You saying something? Go ahead, sis.
going from out of town, I got to figure out, make sure he good. I got to do this, I got to do that. Now with him being at his dad's a lot, it's like, oh my God, did I really not have nothing else to like?
In a sense,
Are you feeling where I'm coming from here?
that ability, that need to be needed, or that nurturing is part of your DNA. It's part of your daily. It's part of how you maneuver. You know, and that can be
When you unplug from
Go ahead.
that's a cold realization that you literally, that was all you literally did. So now it's like, what am I doing? Like it kind of gives you that like
Go
sense
ahead.
of like, dang, like this is scary. Like, okay, now you gotta find what your why is. So when you
Absolutely.
asked me that was a really deep question because
Absolutely.
I feel like when a lot of people say I'm doing this for this person or I'm doing this for that,
you need that. It's a necessity to push. It is. So when it's not saying out the door,
now you gotta find your core. Now you have to find you. Now you have to be in it for yourself, because if self is not good, then how can you be for other people? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I feel like I love grinding for my kids.
That's right.
But just this year, out of all of the grinding that I've done, I realized that I have to grind for me and then kid and then family and then this person and that person. But I've always, in my lifetime and even in the work that I do with the marketing, I've always put my artists first. I've always put everybody that's around me first. But I feel like this year I've done a lot for me.
come on, I love that. I love that. Is that even in them and even in that state, you know, doing for others, doing for your son, even that was uncomfortable. But now putting you in the forefront, it gets even more uncomfortable.
Yes. Because it's like it's hard to come from being amazing and so diligently like great at putting people in the forefront.
Absolutely.
Like you so intricately detailed, you know what you're doing it for, the reason why you calculating it this way, typing it out this way, visualizing this video for somebody,
That's right.
whatever you're doing, you're so good at doing it for them.
That's right.
But you have to flip the camera from looking at them to looking at yourself and saying, hey, now you gotta change this a little bit. Your brand, if you gonna have your brand, like, let's focus it on you. Like, you pour into everybody. What about yourself? That's that right there.
Go ahead. That is, it's, number one, is needed.
It's very needed.
Because you're a natural giver. You like to see others.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. I'm Aquarius. We are humanitarians, man.
One of my favorite quotes of all time is, if you want a fulfilling life, give. It's one of my favorite quotes. Like, naturally you want to see others progress. Sometimes even at the expense of yourself.
Yeah, always.
Not even sometimes.
Not even sometimes. I can honestly say
That's
that.
real.
It don't matter. And what's crazy is I didn't notice I didn't have a cutoff. I don't have a turnoff. Is I have to figure this out. And if I don't figure it out, I'm disappointed in me. They may not even notice
inside
what all
your
you
head, what you're battling.
You and the thing is, it's just go. And I feel like when you don't have a turn off switch, it kind of creates a sense of you're supposed to be entitlement.
It's scary
all the time. Yes,
entitlement is scary.
Yes, entitlement is very scary.
My brother and I, we talk about that all the time. the word entitlement can get scary.
It's very scary
because you are providing a service, and once that service is expected, it becomes no longer valued or high on the totem pole in someone's life. That's real. That's
correct. Accurate. Wow. I learned that several times, several ways, and I again until this year with my son's situation, it made me look more and evaluate how I move as a person.
Absolutely.
And then reflect that back into my work, and then kind of see like, dang, I do this all across the board. This is not just that I pour into. I'm naturally a nurturer.
Absolutely.
And with that, I feel like that's where you have to be more protected.
Yes.
Like women like me, men like me, people in general like me, you gotta be protected. And if you're not gonna be protected by others because they're not protecting you, you gotta protect self.
Absolutely. It's like I'm pouring into everybody who's pouring into me. And then it's like, okay, let me. When I do, it's gonna show.
Oh yeah.
It's so real.
Yeah, because I'm good at it.
Real, sis, real.
I'm amazing at it.
Come on,
I'm really good at my job. So now that I get to pour into self, oh darling, you just went.
Here we go.
You just piped.
Real, sis, real. Well, let me ask you this. So you did pretty much cover this question I was gonna ask. What'd you learn about yourself in the last year? What do you learn about others in the last year?
Shoot. Just when we're gonna have to run it back. Okay, so about others, I realized that it doesn't matter how much you do for people or how much friendship or consistency or work you put in, it's still work. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I learned that a lot of people don't differentiate, if you don't differentiate black and white business from emotion.
Go ahead.
A lot of time we're merging that, especially when we're in the entrepreneurial world.
Absolutely.
We're merging emotions and black and white business. So for example, I've had times where people are giving me a conversation about morality and all of this, and then even you don't feel this and you don't think this. I think and I feel. Right. But in business, it's still black and white.
Ahead.
And I'm going to put my foot down because it's black and white.
Absolutely.
So if you can't be business here on the emotional side, that don't affect me because this is affecting my business. So this year I've told myself, like, it doesn't matter what goes on. If your business is not straight and you find yourself or other people, friends, family, whoever, coming into your business being emotional or having you make an emotional decision, and like, you don't want to do this, why you don't feel like, baby, you said I don't feel. That's the key word right there. The moment you said feel, everything went out the window. Now, if you would have came at me from a business standpoint and said, on a business side, I really would like for you to whoop, 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 there was no feelings in that decision. So I feel like what I learned from people is you have to differentiate the two, the black and white and your emotion. And I feel like that's what constitutes and assists us with having successful companies.
Absolutely.
A lot of times.
That's so true. And it's hard as a business woman and man, you have
Woman.
to really
The womb consumes
Come
a
on.
lot of emotion, man. In the womb of a woman, just naturally, because again, we're nurturers. I'm an Aquarius, so we're humanitarians. We want everybody to be happy. Everybody to not think this.
Real.
You got to, if you don't turn that off at some point, that's a part of that protective
That's right.
barrier.
That's right.
And so again, I don't care if the world don't like me. I'm going to run my business the way it needs to be run, and that's that on that.
Real.
And that's why my 2024 has
Go
been
ahead.
very successful.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's real. Scale 1 through 10. Where would you rate your grind?
Man, 42.
Come on now.
1,000. I don't play.
Real, sis. I know you don't.
I don't.
You don't play.
I don't. The thing is me being from California, I've realized that people do business different in different areas or regions.
Gotcha.
So here in Atlanta, people do business different. Y'all have so many opportunities with different labels. Houston doesn't have a lot of labels.
Gotcha.
We have 1501.
Right.
We have a couple of our OG labels, and we have maybe a couple of different
the indie labels that are prominent.
But there's no workplaces.
Gotcha.
Like there's not a facility where you can go and they have a website where you can click and go to a career site and sign up to work there. We don't have that in Texas or Houston specifically. So I feel like, with the whole idea of just music in general, like we definitely need to have more structures in different areas. And because I'm business minded and I'm aware of that, I feel like our city, just in Houston alone, we got to be able to have more of those. So that way, you remember that conversation we had off air when we were like, just the comparison of the two. Is
cities.
It like a baby?
Absolutely.
Kind of, but kind of not.
But the resources are different here.
Very different. Very different. Y'all have a lot of access. Very blessed.
Now that DJ CaliRoyce is blossoming, do you see yourself in the future possibly relocating?
So I've always, like, for the past 3 years, I've been having my eyeballs on Atlanta so bad. Like I've had like 4 different job offers here. It's so much more opportunity for myself.
Right.
However, my artists that I've worked with have kept me in Houston. Not only that, my son lives in Houston. That would just tear me up. But respectfully, lately, being that, he is an hour away, it's kind of like, hey, maybe it might create a space for me to be able to move to Atlanta and all that. But I definitely have had my eyes on Atlanta for sure.
Real. That's real. For sure. I actually, all the interviews I've done, roughly 130, I would say 60 creatives have moved to Atlanta.
Wow.
That I've interviewed, not from the city, but have migrated to Atlanta because they see the opportunities. They see what's here that they're missing in the small cities or whatever it may be. But Atlanta does have that. We're thriving here.
Yeah,
we're thriving.
Very much
for
so.
sure. For sure, that's real.
And I don't want people in Houston to look at this and be like, oh,
no,
I gotta put a little piece on H-Town. So one thing I love about Houston is the culture and the environment. Houston created a sound that's untouchable, and I feel like they're their own network. Like they're their own people. Like you literally can name off the top of your head the people that kind of helped pave the way for the sound.
That's right.
And I just feel like when you mentioned the big dogs in Houston, like, and the candy paint, the slabs, the slowed down, screwed and chopped vibe, like nobody can do it like H-Town.
Absolutely.
The only thing is I feel like the one side that we didn't have or we don't have is so many lanes. There's so many labels here. Y'all have so many labels and they're connected to bigger labels.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, I feel like Houston travels outside of the city to get the love and the opportunities to be able to grow. Like even with looking at different artists that came out of Houston, for them to get to the places that they were at, they didn't stay there.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's so true. And that's even with us too. As we actually started, we had to travel out too. I think we just became a hub.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I think it's because of the cost of living too. That cost of living is amazing here in Atlanta.
I just realized that. I asked my homegirl. I was like, "Girl, how much?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Whoa." Houston,
It's
but
good,
Houston
too.
is home. That's why Houston will never stop being home. Like, I love Houston's culture, but there's a ceiling cap.
That's real.
There's only so far you can go.
That's
And
real.
then when you do try to have business conversations with a lot of the OGs or people that are there, they're so stuck in their way.
Absolutely.
And that's work for them.
That's right.
Or it kind of doesn't make sense because they don't want to leave. Like, Houston makes you feel like you done made it.
Gotcha.
I don't know
see what
if you know that, but
no, I don't. But that sounds
if you
very.
go
You
to
are
Houston,
wow.
and you sing, for example, let's just take Mike Jones, okay? Mike Jones, if you take Mike Jones, put him in a club, and you put it, and they realize Mike Jones is in the club, and you put on his music, everybody finna sing his songs. From A to Z, word for
Gotcha.
word. OTB Fastlane, which is a newer artist.
Absolutely.
You put OTB Fastlane in a Houston club, every person in that club
So
is
y'all
gonna know.
champion y'all's, which is amazing.
They just
The culture.
The culture makes you feel like you
Like
are
E40
you,
in the Bay.
Yes,
Like it's
yes.
like we don't care what y'all think. Like this is our culture. This is us. This is ours.
And they gonna love on theirs.
Real.
Some people don't feel it, you know what I mean? Because maybe I feel like the financial side, it doesn't really reflect
Gotcha.
that what you feel in that club.
Gotcha.
But I feel like that feeling gives you such a high that
Real.
you don't really
When it
get to
went
do the research on the business side, that there's more than just Houston. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely.
So I think that's why, our H-Town has a ceiling cap, but I feel like it's growing, and I feel like eventually we're gonna have more labels, but I just feel like right now we have to source those things and bring them back
Gotcha.
home.
That's real.
So,
That's real.
yeah.
Source, legacy. Mo City Ja, your son. This legacy with your son taking on even the DJing aspect as well. How did that feel, knowing that he's, following in your footsteps, learning this craft as well? You said you went off to college, he's learning. What is his major, by the way?
No, he's in high school.
Okay, gotcha. So he's actually, but him taking on this, learning that craft, how does that feel to you?
I like it, and I feel like he even started to want to learn how to make beats. So like a lot
Gotcha.
of the producer friends that I have, they've been like tapping in with him and
That's
taking him
right.
under the wing
Love it.
and all that good stuff. It feels good, but I also know what this industry comes with. So one
Protect.
thing that I've enjoyed is watching him take that hour ride
Go ahead.
and be away from it, because him growing up watching me, he sees me around celebrities all the time. He's starting to get used to like, man, oh, this is the life. This is this. I don't want him to see
gotcha.
just being a
highlight.
rapper and the high part
There you go.
of people's. So for example, he was at Slim Thug's house with me before
Gotcha.
at an event, and Slim Thug got the big house,
Absolutely.
the boss cars,
Absolutely.
the chain, the women,
Yes.
and he's like, dang, this is so cool. And so he sees the
Absolutely.
amazing portions, and he knows what Slim Thug does, but you don't know the grind
Go ahead.
to get to that level. And this generation is microwavable, so it's so easy to insert the thought in his mind that he woke up a rapper and
Yep.
that's the way to go, and that's all he needed to do to get where he needs to be. So yes, I love that he's into the DJ world, because you're gonna always have a hustle,
Absolutely.
baby. You're gonna go get
Absolutely.
that bag.
That's right.
I
For
love
sure,
that I
for
can show
sure.
you the producers, but I also want you to understand how to get it out the mud. So that's why we're gonna make
love
sure you
that.
at the best school, and I'm gonna
that.
sacrifice my emotions
Come on, that's
to
right,
let
that's
you
right,
go an
sis, that's
hour
right.
away and still get that. He's at one of the top schools in Houston for football, and he's a freshman in high school, but he made A team. So they got 2 teams, and now they're asking him to help with varsity. They just took him. They have him on a program right now where he's helping with varsity in their state right now.
I love it.
So
I love it, sis. That's dope. That's dope, man. Shout out to him, man. That's dope. That's dope, for sure. Besides your son, what's your proudest accomplishment thus far?
Proudest accomplishment. Ooh, dang. Okay, I got to think about myself
Take your
now.
time,
Okay,
right? Yeah,
let
take
me
your
think
time,
about
take your
that.
time.
Okay, my proudest accomplishment, I would say is being able to tap into my creative visionary abilities. So I just recently assisted an artist with releasing their project all the way, like from front to back. I was able to assist with visuals, rollout plan, traveling,
Right.
just doing a whole bunch of promotion for that person. But then on the other side, I worked very closely with a videographer. His name is Tim Films on Instagram.
Shout out to him.
And he actually allowed me to be a creative director on a lot of his sets.
Gotcha.
So I work with Lil Kiki, I work with Propane, and these are like some very major.
That's right.
Like,
Legendary. That's real.
Like platforms.
Come on,
so
that's right.
To have my name in that credit and just be able to now do like, sign up to be on the Grammy panel and things of that nature, or put out music myself. Like, I feel like the network that I've created for myself and the people that I've been able to reach and talk to, it's just amazing. Like,
Real,
just to
right?
watch that unfold.
That's
so
right.
yeah, so that I would say working with him was like one of my great accomplishments because I was able to, get my creative direction.
Absolutely. That's right. I love it.
About 30 seconds of your time. I really appreciate your support. With every interview, my aim is to bring integrity and fun back to the culture, and I can't do it without you. If you're enjoying this episode, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. I appreciate you. Back to the interview.
And you actually, you're putting it together, your own tape, your own EP, your own album for these dope artists that you're working with.
Yes.
Do you already have a title, name for this?
So right now, I created the artwork for it already, but I do think I'm going to change the name of it because of the simple fact that I'm working with new artists.
Gotcha.
I just met a few artists here in Atlanta,
All right.
and I'm adding more tracks to the project.
Gotcha.
So I feel like, no, we don't have the name for it yet, but I'll be done with it by next year, and I'm just excited about it.
That's
I'm
what's
really
up.
excited about it.
Do you work with any in-house producers? Do you have a...
Yes.
Okay, dope.
So I have a producer I work with by the name of EQ.
Okay. Shout out to him.
He works with a lot of heavy hitters. I've worked with a guy in Houston. His name is Black Keys.
Okay.
That's the only person I trust to do all of my recordings.
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
I
good.
bring all my
Good.
artists
That's
to him.
what it's about, for sure.
And I feel like that sound, you have to have like a good grounding point. Like, you can't just go to a whole bunch of different people, because it's kind of like your hair, for example.
There you
If
go.
a
I
woman
love
getting
that.
her hair done and you got 6 different people doing it, like, you gonna have braids that look different sizes,
Absolutely.
and you got all that
That's so
energy into
true.
your stuff.
That's
I
so true.
enjoy wholeheartedly working with one person that records my people, because I know your quality. I know you
That's right.
care about the project just as much as I do.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that bond when you're releasing a project is really important.
Jay-Z said 22 years ago, industry shady, it needs to be taken over. How do you feel about this music entertainment industry as a whole? How do you feel about what it's become? How do you have to navigate through it? How are you navigating?
So it is, but I feel like a lot of people have again merged that thought process of the black and white and the emotion. And I feel like it gets demonic, it gets weird, it gets this and that when you put your feelings into the music. And it's hard to not put feelings into music, because music is
A
feeling. It's emotion.
Absolutely.
So when you step out of the booth, you have to immediately cut that off in order for you to channel back into the business side of music. And I feel like a lot of that corruption, this and that, it stems from the black and white being gray. It stems from people not doing business the right way. It stems from people not being 1,000 with their word and having underlying, motives and things of that nature. I have seen the culture go downhill in certain aspects. Musically, I hear a lot of mumbo jumbo rap. A lot of the rap that I'm listening to is like, you're not talking about anything. I've had people come to me and I'm just like, I can sell anything. Real. I'm a professional salesman.
Real.
I promise
Go
you.
ahead, no real.
But at the same time,
the product has to be sell worthy.
Man. And the thing is we can find lanes to sell this, but at the same time, that's where the feeling part comes in. And it's like, on the feeling side, I don't feel like doing this.
Gotcha.
But on the business side, technically, you're an artist and you're coming to me and if you want to work, I can work with you,
Right.
but your feelings gonna be hurt if I be real with you.
Be honest.
You see what I'm saying?
DJs are more so like A&Rs too.
Yeah,
They are.
I've A&R'd as well.
Absolutely. Come on now. That's real.
I love it.
Real.
And I
Absolutely.
love that hat. That hat right there, it kind of puts you in the mogul mode where you're like,
is.
hey, look, I already know I could put you da-da-da-da-da.
Absolutely.
I can help you with this. And then maybe we should tweak this, tweak that. And I feel like, man, after 27, a lot of artists, they don't like to listen. They do not like to listen.
Real.
They don't like to listen. And that's cool, they don't like to listen. But at the same time, that don't mean I want to talk anymore.
Real.
That don't mean I want to work anymore.
Real.
Hey,
Absolutely. And you started DJing, this is roughly 8-9 years ago. 2015, 16.
Yeah, 2015, yeah.
That's right. So this DJ from club scene where like you're transitioning now as you're this angle, this part of the A&R, the behind the scenes,
Yes.
that doesn't get the recognition that you deserve. We know how that goes. Like you bring yourself to the forefront now as a brand. Why is branding so important now, currently?
Branding for me is important because I feel like legacy is important.
Come on.
What exactly are you doing for the culture? What exactly are you defined as?
ahead.
And I feel like because I wear so many hats, a lot of people don't really know what it is that I do.
Gotcha.
And for example, I can bring a legendary, beautiful person like Tiana Taylor's brand to the forefront. She is an actress. She came
That's
in the
right.
game.
That's right.
She has dancing
That's
under
right.
her belt. She's a musician,
Absolutely.
vocalist.
That's right.
She's a director.
Songwriter, singer.
Man,
Go ahead.
what?
Go
That girl
ahead.
is a powerhouse.
Absolutely.
And she is so underrated. Like so many, she's one of the biggest
Go ahead.
creatives that I
Absolutely.
know. Like that girl is cold, but I feel like she don't get her just due. You have things like her relationship that overshadow
Shadows.
it.
Absolutely.
And then you have conversations that she has on, different podcasts where people take a piece and then they throw it to the side.
that becomes her for a year.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, or she'll get on a show with Tyler Perry and people like, oh, she's this and that. And it's just like, y'all pull apart our
Yes.
best creatives, and then y'all don't know what these creatives are. Probably they're geniuses, but you don't know what happens when that genius goes into the house and the turmoil that they have to deal with for them to be that creative and not be seen.
Wow.
That's cold.
Wow.
Like that's really cold. So I feel like now it's a time for me to just define it and self-reflect and focus. And I feel like regardless of what the outcome may be
Real.
from the reflection and putting out there, I know what I've built. And as I look at legendary people like Beat King who passed away,
yes.
I can see like, dang, like you really made your blueprint. And then now that you're gone and people are looking at your Instagram account, they can say, okay, dang, he did this, he
really-
did that. They can go Google research him. They can
Absolutely.
pull him up and pull up, his history
That's
of
right. That's
his
right.
relationships
That's
in
right.
the world. And so I just feel like I don't want DJ CaliRoyce to just be the person that was just behind the scenes and
respect
didn't,
that. I respect that. You
get
are
hurt.
just do.
Yeah.
I
So
respect that wholeheartedly because that's like the last thing I want to do is put a lid on myself. Yeah, we are brands, and I think like right now you're feeling limitless, aren't you?
oh yeah.
Come on, like I know because that's how I feel. I feel like man, like, but it's the perfect timing. Sometimes we say like, man, imagine.
What you would have did back then?
But no, it's-
No. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. And to be honest, I don't want to do this for putting myself in the front to be like, yeah, it's me. I'm
Right.
this and that.
No,
I'm not that
you just-
person. I don't even.
I know.
To be honest, this is the most uncomfortable thing to be like sitting right in the front. I do interviews. I've done like
I know
maybe
what you're
two,
saying.
but to be right in the forefront and then like exposed and you have to you gotta give. You have to give the product.
Absolutely.
You gotta give this. You gotta consistency. What you ask of the artist, you now have to do yourself.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's the most vulnerable spaces. But again, if you stick to your black and white
right.
and you put your emotion
ahead.
to you can always be successful.
That's real.
Because the emotion of what this person thinks or how this person feels or how do they view me or perceive what I've done, that's the emotional part of your business.
Absolutely.
But keep it black and white,
That's
you
right.
focus and you get where you need to go, you're gonna be good.
Good
Yeah.
to go. Absolutely,
That'd be
sis.
good.
Absolutely. What are you working on currently? 2024, we're wrapping up this last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What are you currently working on now that's helping your career, helping DJ CaliRoyce as an entity?
So right now, I'm actually in the middle of doing some projects, like personal projects.
Okay.
So one personal project that I have, dealing with a lot of properties.
Okay.
So that allows me to invest in what I enjoy.
I love it.
So right now I'm working with properties, and that's like kind of like my side thing. My main thing right now is my marketing. So I do a lot of work for artists.
Gotcha.
One thing I like and enjoy doing is creating rollout plans for artist projects. So I have a lot of access, interview platforms, promotion, flyers, motion artwork, graphics.
Gotcha.
Like all of that is what my company does.
Good to know.
So I enjoy doing that piece of it, and I feel like with my company, the rebranding process going into 2025 and us having new presidency and just everything going on, I feel like this right here is the time to make sure all of the business affairs are in order.
Real.
And make sure that, it's just rebranding going into the new year. So that's just the main focus right now.
I love it.
My side hustle to invest into the things that I want to do and take care of.
Real. For the creators watching today, how can they get in contact with you to explore, to see actually what you have to help with their careers? So
you can contact me at The Royce Factory on all social media platforms. And you can also contact me at DJ CaliRoyce. I'm very active on Instagram, very active on TikTok. I just got on TikTok.
Likewise.
I'm trying to.
Thank you. Sis,
then y'all talk about y'all about to shut it down next month.
They said it next.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Sir,
I'm like,
I just learned how to hit the purpose, baby. I'll just learn how to just do all this stuff. Like, can I balance?
Real, absolutely, real.
Okay.
No, for real.
So I'm on TikTok, but most of my platforms, if it says DJ CaliRoyce, you can always reach me there. And I have a team. So for me, with my promo girls, I always try to make sure that if I do work with an artist hands-on, like right now, I don't have an artist that's under the Royce Factory Hub that I'm working directly with.
Gotcha.
I work for example, if I have an artist named Too Solid DZ. Too Solid DZ has a manager.
Okay.
And his name is T Ford. So T Ford, like people like T Ford, the management team or the label team would come to me and they say, "Hey, Callie, we need this, that, and the third completed." So that's kind of what I do right now.
Gotcha.
Artist wise, I'm not sure that I would bring.
I was going to ask you that. Would you take on the management role?
I have, but that's the thing. That's where it gets
the gray.
No, that's the gray, because whatever I put my heart into, whatever I put my work into, I put my heart into it.
Absolutely.
And that's a vulnerable place, man. That's very vulnerable.
You become everything.
Man, because I want you to be the best version of yourself. I done dumped my whole pocket.
Absolutely.
Laid it on the table, but hey, I gotta pay rent next month. I'm gonna figure it out.
Absolutely.
But we finna be great
we
today.
Be great. Absolutely. I love this. I love it. That's real.
That right there is the reason why, as of right now, the hub is I want the labels to come. Let's go ahead and do that work, or management, or even an artist. I'll work with the artist, but you have to have a team, or you have to allow me to help you build you a team.
Yes.
But having them up under me again, I'm not sure I would do that right now.
Gotcha. Who on earth knows you the best?
Who knows me the best?
Yes.
That's a great question. I would say my best friend knows me the best.
Respect.
Bruce.
Respect.
We were actually born on the same day.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
So what's some qualities Bruce possesses that you can shout him out about?
The fact that we act exactly the same, like this is literally like this been my best friend for 10 years.
That's
so dope. He has this thing he says where I don't give no F's about no CaliRoyce. I know Brinkley. Okay?
Real. That's dope. That's dope.
So the conversations I have with him are different, because he literally, I'll say something like, "Man, like this is that's going on the music side," and he just like, "Okay, well, do what you always do." You know what I mean? Like you always go full force on you. You know what I'm saying? So focus on that. You never fail when you bet on yourself. Real. So I've learned a lot over the years, just from having that friendship, because it takes communication. Like I don't keep a lot of friends around me just because I care a lot.
I understand.
And that's a friendship that literally,
I don't keep a lot of friends around me because I care a lot.
Oh, good. That was good That was a bar.
Bar, that's real, sis, real.
Yeah,
Man.
but I feel like a lot of times in life you meet numbers. I'm like a numbers person,
Right.
And we were literally born on the same exact day. Like that was very weird.
Wow.
Very weird. And so I've always had this thing where like if I don't talk to him, I'll call on his birthday. I'll be like, happy birthday. And he's like, it's your birthday.
Yeah. It's your birthday.
But we always have been cool.
It.
Like that's just
dope.
my best friend.
That's
and I
dope.
feel like of all the people in the world, he's taking the time to just be like, hey, like I know you down on yourself right now because you always like, I'm hard on myself.
I know,
like,
sis. All the creators of what to do are real.
And he always be like, you doing amazing, like you good. Like it's that little last push that's like, you got this, like go, like good, like keep going. So yeah, so I would say that's the person that
Real.
knows.
Love that. Outside of music, motherhood, marketing, helping others' careers. What's that one thing that your supporters would be interested to know that you do? I mean, what's that one thing? They'd be like mine is shooting pool. That's what I do to just relax, just to get away from it all. What's that one thing you do?
Okay, one thing I do. What do I do? That's just I don't watch TV at all. Like see, I'm not a TVer.
You are on your grind. You look at TV like the enemy.
And when I actually watch it or attempt to watch it, I be feeling like I have so much stuff to do. Why am I sitting here doing this? It's so uncomfortable.
I love that. That's how I am. Exactly like that. That's real.
When I go to the movies, I'm okay with that. I'm cool. I can go to the movie because I designated that time. I actually paid for this, But even the Netflix subscription that I have, it does not get utilized. And then it always makes me mad that these platforms that have like those seasons, they end in turmoil. My chest be hurting because I'm like, what happened? What were we supposed? What? And so I don't like anxiety.
Real,
I feel like watching TV give me anxiety. So I sit in quiet a lot. So that's one thing I'd say. Like I have this. I just sit at home and I just sit with lights off, and I have a road you can see the freeway from my apartment. So I'll open the windows and just watch the cars and just be like in the zone. And just thinking, like that's my vibe. Like that's where I be feeling at peace. Mm-hmm.
Take your fans with you as well. That's a question I often ask. Music off, driving down the highway. What's on your mind?
You want to be honest?
Honest.
Kevin Gates. It never fails. Every time I get in the car, I be lit. I'm like, I can't even I know some people zone off and start thinking about stuff. Right. I don't want to do that. I just be like, they be like, hey, you want to play some music? You don't want to hear what I want to hear. I'm finna be a whole thug in this car. Okay, and he got the nerve to be an Aquarius. I just be
Have you met him? Because I know he comes to Texas a lot. Okay.
So I've been in the same room as him. Gotcha. I've seen him. I'm too scared. If I ever saw him, I don't think I would naturally, if he was talking to somebody or even doing something, I don't think I would speak.
Gravitate.
I would have to get introduced to him by somebody that's around him. I study people. I'm a people studier. I watch mannerisms and stuff. He's an energy person. And if it's just you took the energy to walk up on him, he don't vibe well with that. So I don't think I would ever even say anything. But I think he's so dope. As a creative, he one of those people I was talking about with the genius type. He's so genius. All of the music that he writes, his creative abilities, how he can keep reinventing himself over the years, even from when he first came out with the long dreadlocks, thick, crazy locks.
You've been on it for a long time. Wow,
what?
That's
I am
crazy.
a Gates
That is
fan.
right for sure.
But literally, when I cut on his music, he puts me in a different zone mentally. It's like that. Even when I listen to his trap vibe, or if I listen to his grind, go get it vibe, it puts me in that mode. Girl, come on, we about I'm not the person listening to Sexy Red. Girl, do you? I shout out to her because she be giving lit the club.
Absolutely.
But and Glorilla and all artists. But for me, I feel like Gates, he pulls my thoughts because he don't just talk about trapping and drug selling. He talks about life experiences, things he goes through with his kids, his insecurities, life.
Absolutely.
Man, I vibe so well with that, and that's why I feel like that's just in my mind, it's my best friend, and I never meet. It's okay though. It's cool.
What would that? What would that interaction feel like? How would you know?
I'll be like, friend.
Right.
So I feel like he would just, he'll be like, okay.
I know her. Right.
I know you.
Right.
I know everything about you, so it's cool. You don't even got to worry about it. You don't even need to worry. We already friends, sir. Okay? Just get over it.
Get over it. Right.
Okay, get over it. I've been knowing you a long time. You just didn't know me. Okay.
That's dope. I actually, I can't think of his name, but shout out to his videographer. He's from Atlanta. He just recently.
The white guy?
No, he's a black guy. He's a black guy. He actually became his one-on-one videographer.
Oh, that's his photographer. I think that I'm talking about.
Okay, yep, gotcha. And he's on the road with him wherever he goes. But yeah, shout out to him too. That's dope. That's dope.
Him and I know somebody that's close to him, DJ Chose. I really like DJ Chose. He's dope. But since I've noticed something about Chose too. Since he's been hanging around Kevin Gates, I've noticed like his mind changes. He's more he instead of posting such funny things, he posts funny, but it also is motivational. And like a lot of people have been reposting a lot of DJ Chose stuff, and I feel like that's a part of his legacy that he was missing. And I feel like since he's been around Gates, he works out more. His mind is just a little more focused. And I love that. Like for me to be able to know somebody and grow up being cool with or going to events, parties, knowing DJ Chose and how he got all hugs and all this vibe. He reinvented himself and still is relevant. Like he's produced for some of the most amazing people in the world. And I feel like he has never gotten his just due. But to see him being around an influencer and a person that has elevated their life, when I see Chose now on the gram and I see some of my friends reposting his stuff, I'm like, that gives me so much happiness that he's getting his just due. But also I see that insertion in his life that changed him to be a little more motivational. So I was like, that's dope. I really like that.
I love that. Love that. It's real. Let me ask you, love or respect? Which one means most to you? We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa. Okay, can I take this?
Right. You already know it. Right, look,
Okay,
catch up to me.
Okay. Love or respect? Okay. Respect.
99.5% of my guests have said respect.
Yeah, I want
Explain.
respect. Because I realized that I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know this is actually went back to each other so much, but the black and white and the gray. Like literally, even in relationships, like when you're in a relationship with somebody, this is probably a bad point of view to have, but I've realized that I would rather a partner that's loyal and respectful to me versus somebody who's emotionally overly in it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because you can still cheat because you're not respectful. You're not loyal. You can still go out and venture off. You can still not have respect for your household and spend all the finances up. Respect is so much bigger in the aspect of loyalty and tying it in with loyalty. Just because you love somebody doesn't give you laws. You don't have a governing even if you love somebody.
Wow.
I have had so many people that's like my homegirls just tell me, oh, I love him so much. Why he do that? He told me he loved me. He don't respect you. Why are these girls calling your phone at this time? Respectfully, young ladies, stay in your place. Like, what is going on?
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like that's law. Like, that's what your household should be built on. Like, I've wanted for a long time to be in a relationship with a person who understands that. Like, mentally, like you understand respect and loyalty goes so much further.
Way further.
Than you can get with anything else, because I can love you all day. I can say I love you. I love you. I'm gonna fall out of love with you eventually. We could be together 10 years, and some days I'm not gonna hate you, but I'm gonna respect you, and I'm gonna stand on that. That's law. That's law.
And you mentioned early in the conversation about that entitlement. You know, we spoke like love. I also often always say love comes with entitlement.
Oh yeah.
Respect. You're very black and white. I mean, like, it's like, oh no, it's just something we don't do.
Yeah.
We don't disrespect, but that's real, sis. Let me ask you this: time or money? Which one means most to you?
Time.
Real.
Because, and the reason why time, and it's always gonna be time before money, is because as long as I have time, I'm gonna get that bag.
Come on now.
I'm gonna get it by any means.
Real.
it's been days I was in the red. I was negative, and what I realized is if you, man, that black and white so cold. I have been in a house like overly emotional when I was younger. And, you know, I had went through a breakup. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta pay my rent. I'm pacing around the house emotional because I just couldn't believe this happened to me, cheated and and I'm just pacing. And I got to the point of like being depressed and not feeling this way, that way. But then as I grew older, I realized that when you're in life and you look at life like black and white, you have to get you gotta go get the money. You gotta physically go get it. You can't be in your feelings doing that. And so if you're dwelling on the problem and you're not fixing the problem, so that goes back to your time. You're spending your time being emotional versus being in your bag. So for me, I have learned to be more in my bag, be more diligent, not waste my time, because I've done a lot of time wasting. Okay?
Gotcha. I'm with you on that. But just like you say, like, you know, I can sit in my home and look at the street versus, you know, and I'm the most, you know, they say the most prominent things come to you when you're locked in, when you're walking, things like that. But when you're focused on the TV or focused on that, you're not even thinking about anything. But just like you said, I'm locked in. And I can feel your energy. You actually like, no, I'm at this stage now. It's now or never. Yeah. That's what I'm on. I'm like, no, it's today.
You gotta do it right now.
Every day. Real. That's what I'm on for real. And I can tell that's what you are.
So you living in the now.
Absolutely. Which is part of why I ask people every episode, you living or you surviving? Because I want to know how people think. If they think like I do, you know, like, cause sometimes we can think that we're in the day. No, we like we're surviving. You know, like, we're surviving daily. You know, sometimes we can think we are, but some people know they're living, some people know they're surviving.
I feel like to actually admit that you're surviving is major, because a lot of people can't even. A lot of people will say living, and really you surviving. And you knew you were surviving, but the best answer for you to say on camera was living. So that survival mode, when you in survival mode, man, that ain't no pump.
I love this question because y'all are the most introspective, the creatives are creators run the world. Let's just be honest.
I love that part.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
really
run the world. So to hear y'all answer that, like, y'all give hope for the common man, the common woman. Like, man, like, you know, like they thinking how I'm thinking. Like, you know, like, so everything y'all do, man, is a reflection. And you got to endure more than the average because of where you're trying to go in life. And you know you do for sure.
Yeah, I do. But I feel like visionary wise, long term, I don't always want to have the lights and the cameras. I want the brand to be bigger than the person.
I love that.
And if that survives, like, for example, I was looking at the Swisher House brand, and I saw Michael Watts make a post, and he was like, you know, I started out, I put a lot of people on, I put a lot of people in position, and I just was sitting back like, people my age don't even know your story. There's so many people that's younger than me. My son seen you before, and he was like, man, okay, Michael Watts, because they hear his name, right? But son, you don't even know how this is a legend. What is you talking about? And then I've brought my son around legendary people, and he just like,
right.
And I was like, son, you better get lit. What is you doing? But
real, that
conversation that I had in my mind with myself, because I'd be like, self, you know, I'll be talking to myself.
Go ahead.
When I was thinking about the Michael Watts thing, I was like, who's gonna carry on Swisher House if something happened? And then I start seeing people drop like flies, like my grandma just passed, and then I'm looking at a bunch of different people losing people, and I'm like, who carries on that legacy? Who carries on? And I mean, I get that people do those biopics and you know, tell people's story, but I feel like we're the little ones, you know what I'm saying? So that way they can go ahead and continue, and you instilling those values in them. But at the same time, some people so cold at this, they like, hey, after me it's a wrap, baby.
Wow.
I'm him.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I could look at it like that too, but I feel like him as the legendary person he is, I feel like it's been so many times I've been around him and like DJ next to him and like he was like, oh, okay, like he was smiling. I was like, oh my God, he proud of me, right? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm like, I would love to be a part of a Switch House clique. I want to be a Switch House DJ, you know, like, oh, that's lit. But that's because he created that legacy and that brand. And I'm just like, man, like what happens? And that's the, I don't want to say scary, but it is. It's the scary part because it's just like, I don't want the legendary thought processes to pass with you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't want us to talk about you for a week because you so legendary, and then that on the second week, oh yeah, all right, y'all, so back to the club.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that hurts. That hurts for real. That really do. Because it's just like, dang. But at the same time, like my daddy said, you know, whatever's been here eventually, you know, has to have its time. But it's just, for me, just looking at, that was just an example of so many other great, legendary people that I think that same way about. And I'm just like, wow. And again, go back to the Beat King situation.
Right.
That dude made it stamped club god.
Absolutely.
You are forever in the club's club god. And you got these shaking.
Absolutely.
Okay?
That's so
they
true.
turning up in the club
true.
for you.
So true.
But if you were to drop a song now without your presence, you know what I mean? It just, they're gonna support it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to, you know, say they're not gonna support it, but it's the difference from when you're here. And so it's just like, man, like that thought process is just the scary part. Yeah.
I think I love that transparency because what's what we all strive for.
Mm-hmm.
We're not common. You know, I know you're not. Mm-hmm. This is why we grind the way we do. Mm-hmm. Certain people are meant to leave legacies. I was just watching Troy 3 or 4 days ago. Just, you know, one of my favorite movies. Just seeing the legacy of the Roman Empire. Just, you know, Greece. What they, you know, and we remember. We see what they built.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, it was one line, one quote in there. He said, you know, the Thessalonian, he's the biggest man I've ever seen before. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to fight him. You know, and Brad Pitt said, yeah, because of that, no one will ever remember your name.
If you ain't willing to go toe to toe, what you talking about? That is deep.
Right, sitting deep.
That's deep.
So DJ CaliRoyce,
David
like,
and Goliath
come on,
you ain't David. What you talking about?
Come on.
That was deep. Just for that, you ain't gonna never. I love that.
They will never remember your name.
I need to go watch that now. That was juicy. That was a good one.
Dope, real. So you go ahead. That's what
you got me in my thoughts right here.
I'm telling you, I would not want to fight that man, and because of that, they will never remember your name.
They will never remember your name. You ain't going toe to toe. You ain't willing to risk your life on it. What's up? You ain't about to get your head chopped off about this. You ain't got the heart. What did you say? You don't want this for real.
Real, since you gotta watch it. I'm gonna remind you too. Watch real DJ CaliRoyce when it's all said and done.
So that's why you watch. That's how you watch movies. Hold on,
that's the only type of movies I watch.
Damn.
Remember the Titans, the Troys, the American Gangsters, the the Irishmen.
With the substance.
It has to have substance.
Depth.
It's the only way I can watch a movie. It has to fulfill me some type of way to keep my journey going. It's the only way I can do it.
Okay,
absolutely,
absolutely. You got me looking at movies a little different now.
For real, I'm telling you.
Dang,
I'm telling you.
Cold.
That's so. I'm gonna show you that clip too.
I need to see it.
I'm gonna show you that clip.
I need to see it.
It is
and that's why they'll never remember your name. Ooh, you took me to so many situations that I don't feel like you ain't about that. You not on that at all on no day.
Wow.
And my Kevin Gates foot.
Come on, it's real. It's real.
I'm him. First of all, that goes back to why I love Gates. Literally, I feel like he is like the epitome of I'm going to say what I want done in this lifetime. And I love that aspect. Wow. Like, you literally have music that is called like me, him, I'm that. Wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put yourself on a pedestal, and in turn, people believe that. They stand in that. And when I go to your concerts, you so cold. You can look at the room and look at everybody in their eyeball, and it feels that way. I went and paid. Let me just tell you.
Wow.
Okay, sir. Let me tell you. I went to a Kevin Gates concert, and I was on the balcony. Okay. I was on that balcony, and when I tell you this man's so cold, he looked me in my eyeballs.
Stop playing.
When I tell you,
Stop playing. Like, he's looking at me.
He did like this. He was like, he looked around the crowd, and he had just finished the song, and he was just breathing. He looked around the crowd, and the thing is, I think that he scoped so much, like he's been able to pan the room so much, that even if you're looking in one area, it looked like you're looking at a mall. You
Right.
feel me? And I thought about the thought process after I left. But when he did it, when he looked up, it was like, this was so worth coming to.
Wow.
You literally looked at me, and I know I'd never be able to have a conversation with you, but just the fact that you took the time.
That
You breathed in the middle of singing my favorite song, and you
Wow.
looked up here and like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And he was very, very appreciative. That's another thing. A lot of artists get out there, they jump up and down, do their thing, and throw the mic and walk off.
Walk off.
It's like,
thank you.
it's a certain type of thing, and I feel
Energy.
like that right there, that insert, that thought process right there, what you were saying with the guy, I feel like Gates definitely inserts that into his music
Wow.
and his culture, and into the culture. I feel like he says exactly what he wants, and I feel like that's how we have to be. If you want to go make $1 million today, you got to start inserting that into your mind and into
on,
your
sis.
life,
Come
and
on.
talking and walking through
Absolutely.
that. And if you don't, and you're so negative, and the people around you are negative, that right there is gonna take you to levels that you can't even comprehend, because it's not for you. It's not. No,
That's why you say you don't keep too many around.
no, I don't. No, because the thing is a lot of people have motives, especially because of the type of person I am.
Gotcha.
I'm very giving. I'm very
Absolutely.
open. I'm very. When people know me, you gonna know all of me. You're not gonna know
Real.
half of me.
Absolutely. You don't sugarcoat.
And you
just
can't share that with everybody though. So with that being stated, I'm not gonna have all the besties and the humans, and people aren't gonna like me. I'm cool with that. I'm
Absolutely.
so cool with that. I promise I am. But at the same time, with it being a lonely experience, you have to now fill voids, which now you have to educate yourself. You got to put yourself in spaces where you can have a big network of people that you know. They ain't the besties, but these are people that's gonna help you get in
Absolutely.
a position,
Go
and you
ahead.
can help them.
Absolutely.
So those mutual growth
I love
relationships.
That. I love that.
That's what
I'm
I
on.
like.
That's what I'm on. For sure. That's what I'm on. For sure. Respect. You said about your legacy, when it's all said and done, what would you want your legacy to be? What's that one message you would give to the supporters, to the fans that's watching this today on their journey?
Okay. That's on that journey. I would say through life, it's okay to self-reflect, and it's okay for you to reflect on things that you've gone through. Just because you're going through something hard and it hurts or it's painful, take the emotion out of it and see what your goal was, the end goal. What was the lesson in what you were going through? A lot of times we'll sit and reflect and have pity on ourselves, or my mama, my daddy,
Absolutely.
my uncle.
That's right.
This person did this to me. Well, it was already pre-written before you got here for all of this to happen to you, and you feel like it's like a blow to your, oh, nobody else went through this. People went through worse. Yours ain't even that
my
bad,
goodness.
man. It's not that bad. I mean, it's bad for you, but you got what you can tolerate to this point.
Absolutely.
So now that you've gotten to this point, what did you learn? What can you take with you? What can you invest in your kids? What can you invest in the next generation?
That's right.
How can you help others with this information? And I feel like as we're going, we need to grow. I want us to start reading more books. I want us to start getting back into understanding ourselves.
That's right.
A lot of the relationships aren't long-term anymore. So with that being stated, start understanding yourself so you can have a better partner, and you can have somebody that can take this long haul with you. Not everybody can deal with my type of business. I have been single a long time because
Really?
people cannot tolerate this business.
I
But at
know
the
it's-
same time,
Go ahead.
this will pay my bills, okay?
Go ahead, sis.
So
It's
at the end of the day,
real.
today got to end with me going to work, go get this money. But at the same time, I do want to make sure that, people get that, like, your relationships are important.
Absolutely.
But you're important yourself.
That's
so
right.
and to cap it all off, just focus on yourself, get to where you need to be, and the rest will follow. But take those lessons. Don't take the moments of sadness or heartbreak or pain or things you're going through as you won't make it or you won't ever get there. It's just timing, and it's in God's timing. It's in the timing defined before you were born. So keep going. And if you don't keep going, you will always fail. You will always fail. If you sit in that, you got to take your emotion out of everything and work and get your work done. You can be emotional. I'm not saying don't be emotional, but take that time, but clean it up. Wipe your face.
Absolutely.
Put your clothes on and look like somebody presentable when you go outside, and get up and get it done. Period. Like, by any means necessary. There should be no reason why you're not getting it done. You got a job, you got a task to do, go get that done. You want to start a business, go start your business.
Real.
Let's get on it. Do it right now.
Right
now, like you said. Do it right now.
Right now. I love it. Sis.
Do it right now. Matter of fact,
I love that.
pause the video, go do it right now.
Right
and
now.
then come right back.
Come right
and
back.
watch the video.
I love it. That's real. I interviewed somebody that said, the first thing on my to-do list is to make sure you do everything on your to-do list. I love that. You know what I'm saying? It's real. Like, get it done now. Get it done. That's real.
Procrastination.
It is oh my goodness.
Oh,
A
man.
lifelong lesson. Procrastination. It's real.
Somebody said you gotta it take 15 days to break a habit.
Yes.
I'm still working on it. I'm working on it.
Real.
It's real. And the thing is first step to recovery is admittance. But if you will never recover if you don't go past admittance.
So true.
You gotta recover. You gotta get it done.
That's a fact. You said you're hard on yourself too. You actually said that early on. I'm hard on myself, so I take accountability. I'm like, I always ask, like, what did I do wrong in this situation? How can
always.
A lot of people don't take self-accountability. It's always
it's you. A lot of people feel like I don't take self-accountability because I handle the situation how I handle it, which is I'm going to tell you what you did. And I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat how I feel. I'm finna stand on business on how you made me feel. But don't think that I never looked at myself. I self-evaluated before I talk to you. And I know for a fact before I said something, I was not wrong. But if I'm ever wrong, I promise you, I'm the first person. Hey, you know what? My bad.
real.
Okay?
I love that.
And however you want me to apologize, I'm not finna do nothing self-morality, compromising.
Right.
But I am willing to apologize. That's a lot of things that our women don't really do, especially for our men. I recognize a lot of women, even my friends and my cousins. Like I have cousins I'm very tight with. Yeah. They will not apologize. They'll know they wrong. They'll call me, girl,
right, yeah.
And I'll be like, why don't you just apologize? Cuz, why I gotta apologize?
Right.
He know.
It's tough.
Just say it. It's okay.
Integrity.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
Integrity.
Go ahead, sis.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
This is
real,
deep.
sis.
This was deep.
Come on,
this was
sis. Come on,
juicy.
sis. It's real. Let me ask you, DJ CaliRoyce, with $100 million in your bank account tomorrow morning, what changes about you?
100 million?
What changes about you?
Oh my God. Wow. I just imagine that happening for me. Wow.
Go ahead. I love it. I love that.
$100 million in my bank account tomorrow.
What changes about you?
Everything. Everything except for the black and white portion.
Real. I love that.
I'm gonna keep that feel inside. I feel like with 100 million, it's time to now start changing up how you hustle, because now you have the finances, like all of the money at this point that it takes to get certain investments completed. So with that being stated, now it's time to have a harsh conversation on how this is going to be divided up, what's going to be put up, what's going to be invested, and that's the main thing that's going to change.
Respect.
My mindset is definitely going to change, okay?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to think the same because money does change people, okay?
Absolutely.
Respectfully. I'm not going to lie to you. I will not be having certain conversations with individuals.
Right.
Because at the end of the day.
Go ahead now.
Okay.
You already a brand. You already a business. Now you're $100 million brand.
I'm $100 million.
Come on now. Come on. That's right.
Oh, wait. But yeah, real. So it's definitely going to change because there's certain conversations I'm not just finna have. Absolutely. Because at this time, normally I sit and explain it to you all day. Real. But I have to work on investments at this point. At this point, it's time to do my due diligence to make sure now that I have the finances to put my family in a certain position, I got to go get those things done. The time is of the essence.
Absolutely.
That time you was talking about. It's of the essence. So now it's time to go work on that. But I feel like I would probably provide a space for artists that don't really have finances to invest into their careers. I definitely would put 10 million into that.
I love that.
10.
I love that.
Solid 10.
I love
because
that.
There's so many musicians that die of heartbreak because they put their life and soul into their music, and it was so beautiful. It's people that work at McDonald's with most beautiful voices.
Go ahead.
But the thing is they don't have the financial backing. And I promise you, I would put 10 mil into a nonprofit organization just to allow them to have a space to come and work, a space to create. And I'm going to make sure that they have the best marketing stuff, the best marketing team, the strategies, the promo. And I feel like there's a blueprint out there.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
But there's not finances to back that blueprint.
That's
so
real.
A lot of people be like, people be giving advice, but you ain't never put. First of all, I ain't never had $3-4 million to work with. You give me $3-4 million, then tell me that I've never. Okay, but respectfully, I'm gonna mind my business. But I work with $1 million.
Come on now, that's right, absolutely.
Okay.
That's real. Last question says: city, suburb, or country? Where do you retire in?
Oh, city, suburb. Dang, that's deep.
Right.
And the only reason that's deep is because I grind so much, I never really thought about retiring, you know? And even with my move to the city where I moved at, I'm in the city life where I can see the freeway every day.
Gotcha.
So it reminds me like grind, like those cars riding past the window every day. It's like hustle, get up.
Wow.
Like, hey, they going, it's 5 a.m. What you sleep for? You know, it gives me that reminder. But now it's kind of like to say, it's kind of relaxed.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's a good question, right?
I don't know about that. Yeah. So I would love to be on the outskirts in the suburbs or, you know, in a farm area, but I don't see that happening. I love Starbucks, okay?
Right.
So I want to be able to get up and go get a coffee, okay? Within a 3-mile radius. Right.
That's true.
So, yeah, I don't know. But now that you asked me that, Khacki, I want to go ahead and think about that. I want to dive into retirement. Now that you've said that, they actually put something on my mind to go do some homework. Okay, and I'm gonna circle back to the table. Okay, in the comment section.
We're pulling back up. We're gonna be talking again.
Okay,
you know
just making sure.
We're gonna be talking again, sis. You know it.
We'll have a conversation about that. But yeah, I need to learn. I need to figure out where I'm gonna retire at, because I haven't really set my mind on retirement. I've dated people that actually told me like, "Hey, I'm about to retire in 10 years."
Gotcha.
Because I done did this.
Absolutely.
And I'm just thinking in my mind, I'm
like,
younger than you.
Yeah,
so
right.
at this point, sir, I don't even know what a retirement look like. Like I'm gonna go to like, so I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm gonna hustle.
Right.
But I feel like what is your grind without the relaxation or enjoying the fruits of your labor? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where the property side come into. So I've gotten into properties and real estate and stuff like that, and I'm starting to dive into it. And that piece of me is gonna set me up for being able to visualize what I want at that point.
That's right.
But I feel like that's an amazing question. I'm definitely gonna work on that. I want to work on that.
Cullinan, Wraith, what type of Rolls Royce would be sitting outside?
Well, you know, they said you gonna cry in a rave. So you know, I think that's cool.
Come on,
that's fine. I won't be crying. But I'm feeling that. And what's crazy is that's where my name came from. I told myself, I was like, I love that. And the new ones is so sexy. The tires, they're just so nice. Wow. And I'm not even a car head for real. It's just, I feel like the Rolls Royce is like the royalty vehicle of all vehicles.
Absolutely.
Some people be like, I'm gonna be in that Lambo. I'm gonna be in the Scat Pack. I'm gonna drive real fast. I'm gonna, you know, in my mind, I want to be the royalty of whatever I'm doing. I want whatever I put forward for you to say, dang, that was nice. That was ooh, okay. You know, and that's just where that came from. And I think that's really what I want to focus on, like that aspect of it, like that. But I'm glad you caught that.
Absolutely.
I see you.
That's right.
You
know that's real. That's real. DJ CaliRoyce. 2024, we're in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Sister, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
We got to do this again. You know, we got to do this again for sure. When you back in Atlanta, we got to do this.
We got to. Oh no! Before we go, I got a question for you.
Of course.
Ready?
Of course.
All right. So, if it was one thing you could tell the people about your platform and and where you want to go in this lifetime, what would it be?
Sis, I already know it's, like you said, it's written. I know if I maintain the integrity of this show, limitless. I know where I'm going. I say God win, but just like you say, we said prior to us, I wasn't ready for that. What I'm seeing, this is 1 year as of this week. I've been doing this show, and just to see what I've learned from artists, what artists have come on here and said, how much knowledge I've gained in 1 year, I know it's limitless, but I feel like I am going to someplace unimaginable because of putting myself first.
Yes.
And I've never done it.
Wow.
Never
I
done
think I needed that jewel. I appreciate that jewel.
And I also want to say, sis, I can honestly say this. I've always been afraid of my greatness. I know I've been afraid of it. I've always wanted to see everybody in front of me because of my insecurities of shining. So it was easy to pass the buck, pass the finances, and it's like, all right, I have a job for you, but you're never gonna have that job done until you step into what I have for you. So yeah, like at this moment, sis, I know I'm going to take it there. I'm investing, like you're doing. I'm investing in myself. I'm being very lenient, with branching out. I'm being very. Everything is purposeful, and I feel like sis, I do. I feel like it's going.
Listen to me. The hands of what you was doing just now, my mind was like feeling and calculating where you was going. It's not the liquor, I promise. I understand. I wholeheartedly understand.
Sis.
It's like literally, I know exactly what you mean, and that's crazy. That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like
I get it. I for sure get it.
You just have to keep stepping into it. And it's and that's why I ask everybody, like, your grind, what are you graded? What drives you? I feel like I'm on this level now. It's like it's a weird feeling, like, oh man, like you've been playing. You've been playing
yourself.
You've been playing.
Time. If you would have just, wow,
man,
wow. And what's driving you? That feeling?
Fear. Is driving me.
Wow.
I am the most introverted person you'll ever meet. This is so unnatural for me.
So you doing the opposite of what? Okay, dang. I like that.
Absolutely.
I like that. I think I want to try something like that.
Fear.
And one of these
me.
many aspects. I want to try that.
Fear.
Dang.
Yeah. Real sis, love. I appreciate you asking me that too, because I don't get a lot of I don't get camera time. But I appreciate that.
But really you deserve it though. I ain't gonna lie. Next time I come to Atlanta, you have to let me ask the question.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be like,
come on now.
This is the show.
Absolutely.
We're going to do an interview with Khacki, CEO Khacki today. Hello everyone. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about starting a podcast?
I actually want to. My problem is
you do have some type of history of a podcast.
Yes,
I do believe.
We do. Okay, so hear me out. My problem with the podcast world is that I don't have consistent people or variables. You know what I mean? So like I have a person that would love to do the podcast with me. I actually wanted to start the podcast in my living room because the way my living room set up, it is so cute. It is bullshit. I love it. But I would love to do my podcast there and start it. It's just more so like there's so many other variables going on, and I feel like if I actually had the equipment and the setup, I'll be good. If I had this, my mind works like this. If there's so many things like moving parts going on in my life, I can't. You
said that earlier.
Yeah. If it was already like, if somebody came, they had the whole setup shebang ready for me to, baby, I'm finna every
Go
time.
In.
I'm
Absolutely.
finna, if all I had to do was press a button. But because of how I work, I'm diligent. I want it to be perfected.
Yes.
I don't want to have nothing.
Anything.
I don't halfway do nothing. So for me, with that piece, I actually recorded one full podcast episode of what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And after that episode, I wasn't able to continue doing. The place was like an hour away from my house.
Gotcha.
So it was like
I do. I
I don't
understand.
have time
I
to
do
go
understand.
over there.
Absolutely.
So if it does, but I do see it in the near future.
I do too.
I love these
I do too.
conversations. This is bomb right
Like
here.
absolutely.
This is a vibe. I love
you
it.
have that gift. You have that gift. Like you really have. Everybody don't have that gift. Like this is natural. Like this is natural for you for sure. Explore it.
Okay.
This is podcasting is early. We're
Okay.
early in it.
Yes.
Like explore it, sis.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
I want to so bad. I'm gonna call up my mentor, Khacki.
For sure.
I'ma
For sure.
call up
Come on,
Khacki.
sis. Let me. I'm here. I'm here for you.
Cool.
For sure.
I'm with it. I'm with
That's
it.
what's up, sis. That's what's up, Lord. Sis, as tradition on the
Okay.
integrity response.
Okay.
If you can reach into that bowl, grab one fortune cookie, open it, and read it to your supporters. And just like that, we out of here.
Well, here's my question. Can I crunch on it too?
Of course.
Oh,
Those the good. Those the premium ones. Come on.
Oh,
you
premium
already know.
crunch.
You know it.
Okay, no, they said this one. My mind told me this one. That's what happened in my mind. My
That's
mind,
my
when I
favorite
grabbed
part.
it, they was like,
That's my
put that back.
favorite
It's
part.
the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
my
that one
favorite.
wasn't for me. That was for somebody
That's right.
else. The spirit. The
That's
spirit.
real,
The spirit.
sis. That's
Okay,
real.
hold on. Let's see.
That's what's up.
I get to crunch on it. Yeah,
on
I'm
now, you
so
know it.
excited. Okay. I gotta read it out loud?
Yes.
Okay. It's important to me that money not be important to me.
Stop playing. That's a bar. No. Stop playing.
Now I gotta crunch on it.
That's a bar. That's a bar. That's a bar. Wow. Wow. That was a bar.
Integrity.
Wow.
I love that. I love that. I love that. That's a bar. Absolutely love that. That
It's
is
important to me that money not be important to me.
dope. Purpose driven.
Respectfully. That's how the world turns. man.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
DJ CaliRoyce, has been a pleasure. 2024, the integrity response. Looking in the camera, everything this woman has already done, everything this woman is doing, everything this woman is about to do. Please stay tuned.
Hey.
Follow her journey. Signing off.
Appreciate you.
We outta
guys.
here.
Thanks,
Salute.
Khacki.
You know it, sis.